Hey, what's up, everybody? It is another. What is this? Thursday night? Yeah, this is Thursday night. Yeah, this is a digital Dungeon Master vodcast, and I've got two of my good buddies here, and colleagues. I guess we could call each other colleagues too. Can't we get fancy and call each other
distinguished colleagues? Yeah,
we are distinguished colleagues. So I've got Schmo and Rob2e here. Is it how do you want to say it? Is it 2e or 2e? Because I know it's kind of like a mixture of both. You know what I mean, with your name and all that stuff.
Yeah, my actual real last name is pronounced 2e.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And so, but nobody can spell it, so it's just easier 2e. Nobody can mess that up if you look at it. James Introcaso was the first person ever, since I've been playing D&D since 1981, and he was the first person to ever suggest to me, "Oh, 2e, that's because of second edition, right?" And I'm like, "No, it's not." But no one in my life has ever even thought of that, and I thought that would have happened many years ago.
Yeah. I'm just going to call you 2e. I mean,
all right.
Just call you Rob. I've always just called you Rob, so, you know.
Rob. I prefer Rob. 2e's a mess.
I've gone by bad names.
I almost dropped an F-bomb 2 minutes in. It's a messed up last name is what I was going to say.
And Schmo, what's up with the name behind Schmo? FSHSchmo. Well, FSH.
The FSH stands for Fat Smoking Hobbits. It was a kinship. I found it on Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh my God, I love that.
I got back in on Alpha 3, and got real good friends with one of the developers. You remember Patience from back in the day?
Oh yeah, I have a lifetime subscription, so. You know, I haven't played in years, but I just keep accruing and accruing and accruing currency that I have like 20, 30,000 currency. I could probably buy everything now, but oh man. So yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, he's on.
My video dumped out on me. Sorry.
He's on his 2400 baud modem tonight, Rob.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna cut out sometimes. That's all right. I'm trying to stop my VOD so I can get our stream on my channel.
The Schmo part comes from I had a neighbor who was Polish across the street growing up, and his last name was like Shimalaki or some kind of weird shit that nobody could
Schmoalaki.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, well. Guys, welcome to stream. I mean, you're breaking up a little bit, Chris, but we're gonna wing it, dude. We're just gonna talk about you when you freeze up for a second. But I do want to comment.
That could be Twitch editing my curse words out.
It's Big Brother.
That's right.
It is the NSA. They're watching. Oh, nice hot dog, Rob. Rob, I dare you to take that hot dog out of the bun and just eat that hot dog in one bite and just swallow it.
you gotta cut the bottom.
I do want to comment. You guys have great looking video feed. You know, a lot of videos and a lot of the other streams and stuff that I've watched. They're so cloudy and murky and almost pixelated, but your guys' video feed looks really good. So
man, you got to get the wife beater in HD quality.
Right? Mine's just a laptop computer. It's not a special camera or anything.
Yeah, it looks.
I haven't eaten all day. That's why I'm eating this hot dog.
You down that dog. You down it, and I'm gonna make a meme because I'm gonna go back when I edit, and I'm totally gonna make a meme.
Clip that shit. Circulate it.
I'm going to.
A beer.
So thanks guys for coming on. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. I mean, it even goes.
Yeah, we got postponed a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we got postponed, and then, but I mean, going back probably a couple years, we've been talking about doing something like this. So yeah, thanks guys for coming on. Totally appreciate it, and we'll talk about whatever we decide to talk about. I mean, we don't have any kind of script or nothing fancy like Rob in Fantasy Grounds College. I mean, he sent me this script and he's like, if you break this script, I'm going to come to El Paso and I'm totally
yeah, man, it's
the hell out of it.
That is a 150% lie. I did no such thing. By the way, that overlay does look great, David. Looks awesome.
This is like, it's like I commissioned it or something almost. I mean, this actually looks pretty good. And it's like everything's even and not off kilter. I mean, it's like, man, I'm like, I keep looking at him like, did I really make that? But hey,
I can't get over that Solo movie poster behind Rob with the Millennium Falcon coming in. Where'd you pick that up? The theater?
The Millennium Falcon poster, yeah. I got that. That's a velvet one. It's like a velvet Elvis.
Oh wow!
It's the same kind of thing. I got that at a convention in like '91.
Like retro, before the movie even came out. That's pretty cool.
How much you want for that, Rob? I'd like to buy.
Oh, I would never sell it. I would never sell it, David.
The velvet Millennium Falcon. Man, that's
a one of a kind.
Oh man, that's great.
No one. I'm the only nerd that has that.
That's in the new Solo movie, right, Chris? Like you were saying.
Yeah, I think so. I saw the.
Yeah, if you guys look really close,
the Avengers.
You can see the Millennium Falcon right there. You can see it if you just right like
Oh, the ladies love the Chewbacca growl. They do. So what do you guys want to talk about? As my voice is breaking out. I've been looking forward to this. I mean, I just like, I could just sit here and just stare at you guys for a complete hour and just not even say anything. I really could.
Do you guys both have your copies of Monsters of the Guild that came out today?
I don't.
I don't.
They said something that they don't ship to Mexico, so I wasn't able to
You live in Mexico now? You live in Juarez, Mexico?
I should.
That's why I haven't eaten, is I've been doing that. I've been doing stuff with that since 8 a.m. I don't think I've ever. I think I only right before the show when you said go get a drink or whatever. Right, that's the first time I got up out of this chair for like the whole day.
Damn.
Which is why I have a hot dog. Oh my god.
Get another bite of that real quick.
Yeah.
You're forgetting to cup it though while you eat it. You got to cup it.
Now we need to get you a shake weight so you can use the.
Now it's about right, Chris. That's about right.
There you go.
Get you one of those shake weights and do this, Rob, with that hot dog.
Mm-hmm. Eat it. I'm a pro at that.
So one thing that I've been reading is about. Did either one of y'all see the Kids on Bike Kickstarter whenever it was up?
I know you asked me about that.
No, it was. It's a RPG kind of. It looks like they got the idea from Stranger Things, and if you actually read it, it's basically the movie put into a tabletop game. And it just came out. What got me thinking of that was the exploding dice, because they actually have that in there, to where if you roll max, it explodes.
Thieves. But I mean, Savage Worlds wasn't the first to do that either. So, but I love exploding dice, man. God, that's why I think that's probably why I like Savage Worlds so much, is because of the exploding dice.
That's my favorite. I love that.
Yeah,
trying to find a damn link to it.
It keeps your. I mean, it really does keeps your players on edge if you're running, and if you're a player, you're looking at that shambling zombie coming towards you, and I mean, I'll put that link in the chat for you, Schmo. Sorry, I need to add you guys as regulars so you can post stuff.
As soon as me and Spooner have our Twitch baby. In 2 more months, I'll have to find another streamer to impregnate for 9 months.
What in the hell are you talking?
What the hell?
In 2 more months, I'll be subbed to Spooner for 9 months, so it's a Twitch baby, and then I'll go to another streamer for 9 months.
Oh, you've done him for 9 months, really?
Yeah.
How generous of you.
And then
I bounce my love around.
As soon as he has the Twitch baby, though, it's over. You're gonna have a baby with somebody else.
You're ending it.
That's right.
Well, may I offer you a hot dog?
Hey, I've seen the way you eat that hot dog, man. I'm headed your way next.
You know, I have a talent, even if it's wrapped.
It's like Rodney Dangerfield said, "No, I know why tigers eat their young." Rob, you did some stand-up, didn't you? Or do you still do it? I know you got a book out.
15 years I did stand-up. My version of it now is just to stream and crack jokes while I stream. That's my version of stand-up.
Oh yeah, one of my history professors when I was working on my master's degree, his name was Croach, and he used to do stand-up. He used to open up for Rodney Dangerfield, and he used to tell us all these stories and stuff. And his name was I think his name was it's not I want to say Jim Croach, but no, it's not. But yeah, he's an older guy. He lived in Minnesota for a long time, taught at the University of Minnesota for a long time, and then he moved down to Daytona Beach and was teaching for University of Central Florida, the national champions, guys, the national champion UCF Knights.
Why is that in quotes? Is it because it's not real? Why are you doing
that? Because they're self-proclaiming it as national champions.
Oh, okay. Well,
just like, you know, Alabama has done it in the past, Texas has done it in the past, so yeah. So let's talk about some zombie dice, guys. You guys, Chris was showing his sack of zombie dice before the game, and I guess you're playing it with your wife and your kids, right? And
yeah, every Wednesday we turn off the TVs, put up all the devices, and sit down and play some kind of board game or something. I tried to get him to play 5th edition one time, Lost Mines of Fandover, but we didn't even make it. Spoiler alert, everybody! We didn't even make it past the beginning ambush scene before they started like being goofy, and I got all pissed off and table flipped it. I was like, "Heck no, we're not playing this. We'll go do something else."
How old are your kids?
CPS, man.
They are 11, 8, and 9.
Holy
shit, 11, 8, and 10.
Well, at least you only got about another 10 years before you can kick them out. So at least they're not like 2 or 3 or something like that. But yeah, my mom and my brother, well, not my brother, but my mom and my son, we used to play zombie dice all the time, and I didn't have the expansions or anything, even though I knew they existed. But yeah, we had a great time, and then the last couple weeks or so, I've kind of introduced it to the stream where I have one person as a doppelganger. They get to play, they get to make their own decisions, and then we play as the viewers, and then they, you know, tell me to keep going or stop or what. But yeah, it's fun.
Interesting.
So the second week we did it, I introduced the expansion with the Hunk and the Hottie and Santa Claus, and then the Santa Claus, Hunk, and Hottie die. And then last week I introduced the school bus expansion, and that was fun. And we had a blast, man. I think the people like it, and Zombie Dice is a great game, and you can pick it up cheap on Amazon. It's only like $12. I mean, hell, at your game store, it's probably only about $15, and then the expansions are about $7.
Like 15.
Yeah, and if you get lucky, like me, that I found at my game store that's open till 2:00 in the morning, Military Surplus Gaming.
That is awesome,
dude. These guys are like hardcore Star Wars X-Wing fighters, Warhammer. Dude, I have never seen so much Warhammer stuff on one table. I thought the table was going to break. There was so much Warhammer stuff. And then they're playing the new Legion too. So if you're lucky, you can find the Zombie Dice score pads with 50 little score pads in each pack, and I found 2 of them. They're like $3, and I bought them. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I asked him, I said, do you take the food stamp debit cards for these? And he said, no. So
it actually, Dave, on their website, it actually like you can order them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, $3.50. Yeah.
They also have a PDF
really?
Of ones that you can download and copy or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Very cool. Yeah, because I asked the guy and I said, "Can you get more of these?" And he said, "No, they're out of print." So, He couldn't get them from his vendor anymore. So maybe there's only a little bit left from the guys over there at who the hell makes this again? God damn it.
Steve Jackson Games.
Yeah, Steve Jackson. That's it. I think
he makes almost every single game.
Warehouse23.com has them for $350.
Nice.
And,
I kept wanting to say
he
Rob
made Lord of the
Jackson.
Rings too.
Yeah, and GURPS. He's got the new edition of GURPS that he's just shoveling content out. He's got a lot of stuff over there at Steve Jackson Games. So yeah, check it out. Zombie Dice is a great game, man. You gotta eat 13 brains before everybody else does.
That's right.
You can take shotgun blasts to the face, or they'll run away, or if you can jump on the school bus and get like triple brains on one side or triple shotgun blast. Man, it's awesome, man. Last week I had like a 9-0 lead on my doppelganger and my viewers, and the viewers, dude, they came back and beat me. And then my doppelganger, he freaking had he got like 9 brains in one round. I've never seen, all the times that I've been playing Zombie Dice, I have never seen that many brains at one time. It was just ridiculous. Although I did get the football helmet, the Santa Claus football helmet side. Oh man, I was loving it. So that was the first time I ever saw that too, but that was a couple of weeks ago. So, and then there's Chupacabra dice too, but Chupacabra is a lot harder to play on stream, and I don't really think it's doable.
So there is, while we're talking about these little games, there's a game that we saw on Target that's called I think it's called like Don't Step in It, and you put out a map of a yard.
That.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw it on Walmart.
You make fake pieces of poop and you put them down on this mat. You blindfold yourself and you have to walk across it without stepping in poop.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get that and play it next week.
That's cool.
What's the poop made out of?
It's like some kind of mushy something.
Oh, so it's a real like gushy thing that if you step on it, you'll go, oh, gross.
Thanks,
oh, that's
Murdoch.
funny.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Murdoch, for the.
Then what you do? This is the ultimate joke: is you go out in the yard and you get
you slip one in,
and you slip one in. That's right.
Slip one in like he slipped that hot dog in his hole there. So I've been getting into these other games because I predominantly have just always played just D&D, and moving out here to Texas, I'm going to start playing a couple times a month, or at my pad here at the bachelor pad, ladies. Bedroom's right over here. That's so stupid. That's my pickup word right there. But anyways, I picked up more stuff. I went over and I found some reduced Magic the Gathering box games. Battle for Zendikar, The Shadows over Innistrad, and the Planeswalker board game. I found all of them for $5 a piece. And then I bought multiple board games because I'm like, holy cow, I might as well just buy all these and do giveaways in the stream or something. And when I bought them all, I bought 9 boxes. And then the lady, she was working on the toy aisle, and she said, "Oh, thank you so much for buying all of them because they sat there for 2 months." I was like, wow. So I said, I guess the population here in El Paso just doesn't like Magic the Gathering. So, but I bought those, so I'm going to learn those.
The real question is, did you say, do you want to come back to my house and play them with me?
She was 85, or I probably
whatever, man.
Yeah, she's experienced. She can teach you stuff.
Get that off my belt, right?
She's probably had sex at least 4 or 5 times, man.
That's right.
This week, maybe. So I picked up
break a hip.
I found Dungeon, the original Dungeon board game. I found that.
That's a great game.
Yeah, at a comic book store. I love that game. It was in he had a reduced bin, and it was $20, so I paid $10 for it. And then I bought at another game store. I bought The Legend of Drizzt because it was on sale for $35, which is absolutely cheap for that type of big box game. So
yeah, that's a $70 game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try out that Drizzt first before I buy any other D&D games, because supposedly they're all compatible with one another.
Yeah, I have Ravenloft and Wrath of Ashardalon and whatever the other one is that. Oh no, I have Drizzt too. So and it's really cool because you can use all the tiles or the pieces for all the different ones together.
Yeah, that's
so if you open up all 3
nice.
Boxes, you can have a massive thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then you got to like figure out which piece goes where. And
but they have marks. They have marks on them. So like
they?
when you put the games away, yeah, you can tell which one goes in
nice.
the thing. Yeah.
I've had this Drizzt game for about a month now, and I haven't even taken it out of the wrapper yet. I was gonna because you can actually play solo with that too, because you can do the story. So I was gonna do that and basically just stream it and just get my butt kicked probably in a solo adventure with Drizzt. But I like the cards how you get experience. You can flip it over to level 2, and I like with the tiles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a cheap way to get miniatures too.
Yeah, I mean, even though they're just plastic ones, but they're still pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I mean, and it looks like I was looking at the Tomb of Annihilation that they had, and it looks like, well, I looked at the actual, they had the, I guess it was the collector's edition that had all the painted miniatures, but it's the same miniatures that are out of the Tomb of Annihilation Icon of the Realms. I mean, it is the same identical exact miniatures, and I'm like, well, I don't need the collector's edition because I already got all those sitting on my shelf behind me. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna try it out. I think I'll try it out, and if I like it, and plus, when I have these people coming over to my house, we're going to be doing a board game night, and then we're going to be doing like a D&D night. So, because I just printed out all of the Lost Mine of Phandelver maps to 1x1 grids, and they look absolutely fantastic. So I'll have all the minis, and all my players are going to get a character folio and spell cards, and dude, they're going to be so spoiled. But I want to give them a fun game. So. I mean, they're not going to get to keep it. I'm not saying here have a free character full of spell cards, but they're going to have to, they'll have to keep it here. So, but it'll be fun.
Make sure they're not eating Cheetos.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully they'll bring some food. Hopefully they'll bring some food, and I'll kind of because they're all pretty much new players except for one guy named John, which actually I met in your stream, Rob. When I was on your stream.
Oh, is that EP Tex guy?
Yep, brew guy. Yeah, El Paso
guy,
brewer. Yeah, and we
right.
met and had lunch and stuff, and we had a good time.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, good guy. So he's going to be one of my players, and so whenever I get started here in a couple months, I'm going to do like I'll take a bunch of pictures and do like a sort of like a blog or something like that, and then whenever I move towards the end of the year. I'm going to get a bigger place, and I'm going to set up some tables, and I'm going to buy some more Yeti mics. I'm going to buy some more webcams, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it like D&D stream right. So
I guess I need to move to El Paso. Holy crap.
I totally want to do it. Yeah. Hey, and I got 4 players, so if you are in the El Paso area, and especially if you're a female and you're beautiful, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm on my way.
Bring the hot dogs, Rob.
as you said earlier, I do have a vagina.
And bring that Velvet Millennium Falcon too behind you. That would be nice.
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon right there.
You're pretty good. You get that right. I mean, you point right to it.
Well, because I can see myself on the thing, so it's easy to do it. I love how experienced newscasters or even some of the late night talk shows or whatever, you'll see them do that, and they'll go, oh, it's over here. Oh, it's over. And I'm like, haven't you been on TV for friggin' 25 years? Don't you know how to just do that?
Yeah, I saw Jimmy Fallon do that a couple times when he's on the
yeah, he does it.
Yeah, he probably does it on purpose. Though I mean, that guy is pretty funny though. I will say that. Even though I would have still liked to have seen the previous host, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, that's for a whole nother show. So what do you guys got going on for games, guys? Schmo, what do you got going on for games?
I'm not really doing much of anything at the moment. I did just run Geo and some of his viewers through a Shadow of the Demon Lord game, Blood Will Run, Sunday. And I killed the Clockwork immediately. First, the second round of combat, just totally killed the guy.
What a jerk.
And then I ended up charming Geo The two girls that were in the group, they ran to get help. So I brought Geo in, strapped him down to a chair, and slit his throat.
Nice.
And then we later learned after we were done that he's actually, but it was a little too late for that. I'd already killed him. So yeah, the girls set the house on fire, killed him, and then we called it a night.
You were doing, this time last year, dude, year and a half, dude, you were like doing games just about every night. I mean, did it just kind of burn you out a little bit?
I got way too burned out. Yeah. With beautiful weather outside, working on riding my bike a little more. I want to try to figure out a way to stream myself riding my bike that doesn't like kill my data.
Just make sure you wear that wife beater when you do that. That'll be awesome.
Man, I've got like full spandex gear when I ride, so that's even better.
Oh my god! I can just look at Rob's got his eyes closed. He's just licking his chops over there.
No, because I'm thinking bring a hot dog, man. Make the whole video everything you need it to be.
Let me see here. I'll
stop at the hot dog cart. Stop at the hot dog cart and get one. Oh,
stop at the hot dog vendor and say, "I'll take 2."
Put them both in one bun, and he'll be using his shake weight as he's going down the road.
double donging it all the way down.
Oh gosh, that's awesome. So Rob, what do you got going on? You still got like 15 games going on? Have you
not as many as I used to. Since I'm doing I remember about a year and a half ago you told me at one point I had 10 games. I was streaming 8 of them a week and playing in 2 other in real life. So I had 10 games in a week.
Yeah.
And I did that for about 6 months. And I remember you told me like, "Hey man, you're gonna burn out. You better watch it." And I did scale back sort of at the beginning of the year, around maybe February. So now I do the talk show and I do module creation stuff. But the 2 games that I have going are Friday nights. I have Tomb of Annihilation and Tomb of Annihilation, and we are, if people that are familiar with that, we're on level 5 of the super dungeon in that, so we're nearing getting done probably in less than 4 or 6 more sessions maybe. Nice. And then on Wednesday night, I still am in a game that 1 year ago next week, you 2 effing quitters dropped out of. That game is still on, and we are just now starting against the Giants.
All right, that was the adventure that I was going to be DMing as well.
Yeah, and so we just started that.
Adventure. I love that adventure. I mean, I love those 3 modules from back when I was a kid, and it just I wanted to continue on, but man, I was just like you guys experiencing some burnout, and I just had too much stuff going on. I had stuff going on in my personal life, and I just needed to tone down, and and it was good that I did. And now I've only got 2 games, Rob. I had I canceled 6 games about a month and a half ago, and
the stream doesn't know why we're laughing.
And I am totally not showing that image either. There's no way I'm putting that.
I'm just going to describe what Schmo put into the Discord chat. A girl sitting on a couch with her eyes closed, and her face, it's a GIF, just being pelted over and over with like 10 dogs. Yeah, so imagine that. Yeah. It's pretty funny. But you were talking about against the Giants as kids. And now you guys are both frozen. Am I even still here? What's going on?
No,
I can hear you. You're still here.
We can hear you.
The stream.
I think it might be. Do you think it could be Discord? Because I can still hear you guys. You guys still hear me? Or
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, Schmo broke the stream with his hot dog lady.
I did.
I just can't help looking at it, though. I mean,
I know I can't stop looking at it now. But
let me get rid of that.
Her face is just amazing. Yeah.
You were saying, Dave, that you like those modules. I'm super excited about both Against the Giants and Tomb of Horrors because even though I've been playing D&D since the beginning, since 1981, or well, it's not since the beginning, but for me it's a long time. And all that entire whole time, I I never managed to play either Against the Giants or Tomb of Horror, so I've never seen both of those. So I'm super excited for the 5e versions.
Yeah, I want to once I get my game, once I get Tomb of Annihilation over and Lost Mine of Phandelver, I'm going to be doing some like Quantum Leap type of game changing, and I'm going to do some Savage Worlds 50 Fathoms. I'm going to do some Starfinder, some Pathfinder 2nd edition, and I've let my players know this too, so they're actually looking forward to jumping around Quantum Leap style. So I think that will be pretty fun. But what I do actually want to go in and I want to let my players do a level 10 Tomb of Horrors, and I think it's supposed to be for level 15. But I think that 5e is such a player-friendly game. I want to give them a little bit more of a challenge and let them go in at level 10 and see if they can actually, get through with level 10 characters. Which, both games that I have, these players are really good. They're very tactical. They're role play heavy. So I think they could bring it, and I'm going to be relentless on them. So I've been doing that a little bit more lately. I've been accused of being a softy DM, but I'm not really out to kill people. I just like telling the story, and if they make a boneheaded decision and die, that's on them. But
you're gonna get a rep like me, man, where that's what you're known for. Is
I just slit his throat. Man. I slit his throat, put him down, tied him up. No saving throw, no death saving throws. He just died. So yeah,
what's that guy's name? FSHTPK. What's his name?
It was when I'm Sundays. I'm running an in-person 5e game where I'm teaching some Pathfinder people how to play, and we're running Lost Mines. And the very, very first encounter there on the road, I almost TPK'd them. When they went into the Goblin hideout, I almost TPK'd them. So it's crazy, man.
Yeah, that first encounter is actually pretty challenging. Those 4 goblins. But I usually if there's more than 4 players, I usually add an extra goblin per player, and I'll shake it up. Like I shook it up the last time I ran it a couple days ago. I shook it up to where they actually saw the goblins at an inn along the road, and then there were some dead adventurers, and that's how they found out about a local farmstead that's been having all of their livestock and stuff killed, and then it brought them to the farmstead, and then on the way to the farmstead, that's when they found Sildar's and Gundren's horses dead on the ground. So I just like to mix things up, it's just I never. God damn, you're a heavy typer. Like a machine.
Yeah, sorry, mechanical keyboard.
No, it's awesome, man. You're a fast typer. I got to make a GIF out of that, dude. That Frankenstein, like that kid that was just doing that on his keyboard. So yeah, I never like to really go word for word for a module, because sometimes people like to follow along, and they'll say, "Oh, that's not part of the adventure."
Oh my God! I can't tell you the number of times during Curse of Strahd. That's not. I look over to the chat. That's not how it goes. And then I would type, "This isn't your game." Oh, there it is.
Hey, self-censored there. Self-censored. Good job. Good job.
Mental
There's
note,
actually
43 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah, 33 minutes. That reminds me, you guys. There's an old movie, 1981, Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise.
I love it.
It's a great movie if you haven't seen it.
Yep.
And there's a guy, Jack Elam. He plays the doctor that they take in the ambulance, and he says,
with the
"I've
elephant?
determined that no, that's Cannonball Run 2.
Okay.
Or maybe even Smoking the Band. I can't remember. But
wasn't it Dom DeLuise was the doctor, wasn't he? Dom DeLuise?
No, Jack Elam, this old time actor from like cowboy movies, and he goes, "I've determined that
with the crooked eye." I remember that guy now. Yeah,
he was a proctologist, and he says, "I rarely need more than this."
And every time it would go to him like the scary, like psycho horror movie.
Yeah,
with, like,
the organ music.
Would, yeah,
so my favorite line in the whole movie is that he goes, "It's because of what I just did." He goes, "I've determined that the fee for my services will require the sum of $5,000." And then Burt Reynolds goes, "We were thinking along the lines of $200," and he goes, Fortunately, determined you got a deal. And just watching that, I even maybe 5 or 6 days ago, I pulled that clip up on YouTube and just watched it like 4 times.
That makes me want to watch it again. That's one.
It's a great movie. That's such a fun movie. I think it holds up. I mean, it's like 35 or 37 years ago, but no cell phones or anything. But it's got a bunch of stars in it, and it's good times.
Those movies just aren't made anymore. I mean, they're just so funny, man. And I got the box set from like the reduced markdown bin for like $2, and it was Cannonball Run 1 and 2, man. Both of those in one pack, and I'm like, hey, for $2, man. It's awesome. But yeah, the organ music is what made those scenes. You know what I mean, Rob? It just made those scenes.
He would open the ambulance door, and he would have that crooked eye. So great.
About there's been some recent news, guys. About a month ago, they announced that Pathfinder 2nd Edition was coming out. I'm personally excited about it because I've never been I like and I appreciate and I respect 3.5 for the complexity that it could possibly have in a game, because it covers everything. Every type of situation it pretty much covers, because the game has such a long life, like a 2nd edition, to where it has a rule for everything. And it looks like with 2nd edition coming out, it seems like I'm almost, and I've read quite a bit about the game and stuff. It seems like they're going with more of a Starfinder, a Starfinder type of rule set, to where it's not as rule heavy. This is how I see Starfinder. I think it's a perfect medium, to where it's a perfect balance between a rule heavy 3.5 and a rule light 5e, and I think it fits really good in the middle. And I think they're going to do that with 2nd edition as well. And I don't think you guys have really played Pathfinder that much either. But I mean, are you guys kind of excited about? I'm excited for. I'm excited from an industry standpoint, because Paizo is a great company, and 5e is so popular. It's the elephant in the room, and I think that having another big time title in the market, I think that's going to do nothing but actually help, in my opinion. So, Chris, what do you think about the announcement?
I've played one game of Pathfinder. Never played it again. I did. I plan on getting all the books. I'm going to read it.
Did you say you'll never play it again?
I'll never play the first one again.
Oh, okay.
I'll check out the 2nd edition. I'm gonna at least read it. Keep the books, primarily to read, but maybe later for monetary purposes. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I was excited to see it. It'll be nice to check it out. My biggest concern with getting involved with something Paizo's doing is all the freaking books they put out. Like Pathfinder, there's a million freaking books. I can see with Starfinder they're starting to put out a lot of books. They're ramping it up.
Yeah, they're ramping it up now with the you make a great point, because I have all of the Starfinder subscriptions. I have all 4 of the subscriptions. And now, starting in August, now that the first Adventure Path is going to be out, they're going to start doing AP books every single month.
And that gets expensive when you're buying for
$22 a book,
physical copies, and for Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah.
That's money, man.
Yeah. The great thing about the subscription, I will say, though, is they give you a free PDF. And I do like that. And when I have all 4 of the subscriptions, they also give me all of the Starfinder Society stuff. And Starfinder Society was coming out once a month. But starting the last 2 months, now they're ramping it up and putting out 2 packets per month. But I mean, that's cool, because I get them for free. But for somebody just wanting to buy just the Starfinder stuff, that's now it's $10 a month. But yeah, I hope that they just don't start putting out hardbacks every month like they did with Pathfinder. But you never know, because Starfinder just keeps getting more and more popular. And it's like when I had Jason on with Fantasy Grounds Fridays, he was like, "Oh no, we just plan on keeping it like it is." And then I said, "Come on, if it gets more popular, you guys will definitely probably start pumping more out." I said, let's just face it, and I was right. Now they're starting to do it, but looking at the lineup, it seems like core books are still going to come out like every 3 months or so. So I'm hoping that does kind of stay the course, because if you got a hardback coming out every month, a matte pack coming out every month, an AP every month, and supplements every, cards and, all of the other pawn boxes and stuff coming out every month. That's going to be over $100 a month, and I just don't want to do that. So I hope that they just kind of continue the course. But Rob, what do you think? I saw you over there shaking your head. What was that? Sorry, Chris.
So I've never played Pathfinder. I've never played Starfinder. Oddly, I've converted about a dozen modules for Smiteworks in Pathfinder, even though I've never played the game, because James Holloway said, "Hey, you want to do some Pathfinder?" And I said, "Oh, I've never played. I can't." And he goes, "No, you'll figure it out." And I'm like, "What?"
It's D20, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And he goes, and then he said, "Here, just." He sent me like one of the PDFs, and he goes, "Here, just look." And so then I ended up doing it. But I'm like Chris. I've never. I mean, he played once, he said, but I've never played, and I don't really have an interest in it. But I thought to myself initially when I heard about the announcement for 2nd edition, I thought, okay, let me just see, and maybe I'll have an open mind and I'll get into it, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the website when they made that announcement, and I discovered that they were having a playtest, which I think starts in August.
In August, yep. Mm-hmm.
And I looked, and I thought, oh, playtest. Well, if they're gonna let me playtest it, maybe I'll take a look. So I click on the link and I go, and it says, "Hey, order the playtest materials." And I'm thinking, "Hey, this is fantastic." And then I get to the final screen, and it's $180 if you want to get all 3 books for $60. And I'm like, the playtest books are $60, and my voice went up even higher than that. And I was like crazy, sort of mad about that, because I don't recall WotC or other companies charging for their playtest materials. They always just give those away for free.
Well, Paizo is letting you download. They're letting you download the 3 products for free in PDF form. They are.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yes, they definitely are. Yeah.
But I was very resentful that they were trying to sock it to people for $60 a book.
Yeah.
And so and not knowing what you just told me, I basically just shut it off. I basically went, okay. I was going to be looking at it. I was going to keep an open mind, but then I just decided not to. But I mean, and everybody that knows me knows I'm a huge 5e guy, and I'm really loyal to that. And
you should just change your name to Rob2e. I mean, come on, seriously.
How dare you. Rob2e.
Change it to Rob2e.
Well, but then what if someday 6th edition comes out, and then I'll have to change it again?
6th edition is not coming out for, I would say, probably at least 10 years. This is going to have a 2nd edition life. I mean, it really is. It's going to have a long life.
I know a little thing about that, by the way, which I can tell you as soon as I finish my rant about Pathfinder. No, I'm done. But I don't think I don't have an interest in it, but since I'm so into Fantasy Grounds, I may one day rethink that, and because I own the Starfinder and I own the Pathfinder modules for Fantasy Grounds, so I might, but I just have never used them. I just only have them in case I do conversions or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know a little secret about 6e. It's not a big secret, but it was said on a podcast by Chris Perkins. But he said that at the WotC offices, they have a piece of paper that has 1 bullet point on it. It's a title at the top that says 6th edition, and then there's just 1 bullet point on the table on the paper, and it says, have you guys heard this?
No, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it says must be reverse compatible with 5e. So if they ever do come out with 6th edition, all the stuff that we have now for 5th edition will still work, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I like that idea.
I don't think if it's not broke, you got to take it. 5e has made D&D and tabletop games, dice games in general, so popular. It's like Chris was saying, they have no intention on even thinking about creating a 6th edition. It's just so popular, and sale. Look, I just checked the other day. Seriously, the Player's Handbook is still number 17 on the Amazon bestsellers list.
Yeah.
Number 7, and it was number 1 for a long time. So
yeah,
I mean, I can see this having a longevity of like 15, 20 years. And people say I'm crazy, but I don't think so, because they're going to keep putting more 5e stuff out. And
yeah, they put out 2 or 3 books a year.
Yeah.
And see, that's the other thing I really appreciate about Wizard of the Coast as opposed to Paizo, is that, like you guys were talking about, Paizo's jamming 5 things a month out, and Wizards of the Coast puts out 2 or 3 books a year. And so everybody that's a 5e fan can keep up with it and doesn't break the bank. You know, but if you want to buy everything from Paizo, you're going to, like you said, you're going to spend $100 a month or more, maybe.
You know, I will say this. They do, you know, I can't say this for Pathfinder. I don't look at the release dates for Pathfinder subscriptions because I do not play them. But for the 4 subscriptions that I have, I usually only get 1 thing a month because they kind of stagger everything. So I do appreciate that. Some months there's like two items, but for the most part, it's definitely doable for Starfinder. Now, you know, here's another thing. I'm definitely going to get into 2e Pathfinder. 2e, you get it? You get it? So waka waka.
I probably have to do it now, don't I? I mean,
so do I. Yeah. So do I sign up for those subscriptions too? And now I got 2 games, and then I'm still trying to keep up with Icons of the Realms and 5e stuff. I mean, it's just like, man, where do I draw the line? So
there's just a lot. Oh, he's serious. I thought he was joking, just pounding on his keyboard.
Damn, I thought I muted it. I'm sorry about that. Gosh.
I thought we were getting too boring, so he's like,
these guys
I probably
suck.
just closed Discord or something bad. Yeah, and then, you know, RPGs are so popular now, and then online especially, so you got to be careful, or you're buying all the Savage Worlds, you're going to buy all the Deadlines, you're going to buy all the Call of Cthulhu stuff, and then all of a sudden you don't have any money, but you've got a house full of games.
Don't look at my shelves.
Don't look back. I just have the Velvet Millennium Falcon back here. Ooh, and Monsters of the Guild. What's up?
I actually just sold I have all the Numenera stuff. I had all of the Numenera stuff.
Oh yeah, Numenera too.
50 pounds of books, man. I just sold them. I put them on eBay. I'm like, I got to start getting rid of some of this stuff. You know, I just these are games that I just don't play. I want to play Numenera, but there's other games out there that I want to play. So, you know, I made a decision, and now I'm selling all my Hellfrost stuff, which I have every single book, another 40, 50 pounds of books for Hellfrost. And I love that setting for Savage Worlds, but it's not a setting that I'm going to play. I mean, to be honest. And it was just a boneheaded decision that I made. But, you know, as long as I get what I got into it, because, I mean, I haven't even opened up the books, really. And, I got what I got out of my my minis when I sold them, and then I got what I had into the Numenera stuff, too. So that was, man, but, you know, I just need to make some decisions. I mean, I got all the 13th Age stuff. I got Dragon Age stuff, Fantasy Age stuff. I've got 14 more banana boxes of books. I just need to start getting rid of some of this stuff. So, you know, it's hard to part with this stuff because you love this stuff so much, but man, I just really don't need it all. You know, I mean, I'm going to be playing a game, once a month around the table, so it doesn't do me any good having, you know, 15, 20 boxes of books on a shelf. So,
yeah,
you know, man. And all my 4E stuff. I have all my 4E stuff, too.
I still have all my 4E stuff, and it's all basically, I mean, if you can still open the books, and they crackle because, you know, they've only been opened, because I got sick during 4E, and so I had it all, but it rarely got used.
Yeah, there's 44 hardbacks. And
I probably have 25 of them.
Christ.
Yeah, there's 44, and then I have 4 other hardbacks that are official licensed stuff from like Goodman Games and stuff, and those are rare. And, you know, then I have all the 4th edition miniature game stuff, and, you know, all of the cards and all of the class token packs, the DM kit, you know, 100 modules. I mean, it's just like, do I really need this stuff?
I've got the 4th edition WotC modules. They put out about 10 or 15 of them, maybe, the official ones.
Yeah.
And about 8 or 10 of those I have still in the cellophane. Never even opened them.
They're beautiful. I wish they would.
Yeah.
They would do that for 5e. You know, put them in a full. And I love and I appreciate the hardbacks. But I mean, Rob, they went all out on 4th edition for accessories and stuff. And
yeah.
And I don't think the edition did that well. I mean, it did well, but it didn't do 5e well. But I think that's why everything is so conservative now, is because they
I think they
so
found the
money.
formula, and I think a big thing for Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro was that they made the conscious decision to limit their releases and to only do, 2 or 3, I guess usually 3 now a year.
Yeah.
But they're big. They make a big deal out of each one of them.
Yeah. I mean, take for instance, I totally agree. And that's the difference between Pathfinder and 5e, and I think that's why 5e is really successful anyways, because of the amount of products are put out. But then, but there is a crap ton of 5e stuff. There's DM screens put out for every single module. There's all kinds of tiles reincarnated, all the spell cards, but that's all third-party publishing stuff.
Right, that's all like Force 9 stuff.
Yeah, WizKids, they got Stevie Wonder painting eyes on back of the heads of the miniatures and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I actually have I
didn't realize that was his second career.
I have a wraith. I have a wraith with the yellow eyes on the back of the head.
Don't go changing.
But I mean, hey, where do you draw the line with buying all this stuff? So, 5e, I love 5e, but do I I think I need to start selling some of this stuff off. I mean, and just keep it aside for future releases for 5e and stuff. So I mean,
I'm working on getting the last bit of my miniatures, but I've actually started collecting the Pathfinder pawns. I like using those more than miniatures because they don't take up a lot of space.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with Starfinder, the pawn boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw the WizKids lineup for the new Starfinder miniatures, and they look like freaking Cabbage Patch dolls. I mean, they look horrible, puffy cheeks and faces, and Rob's already Googling it already.
I'm Googling it.
He's
because
Googling
are they
are
they cardboard, or what are they? What is the deal?
They're a resin, and they're painted. They're just like the icons of the realms, but they don't look
bestiary box,
$52. They're pretty expensive. 17 sheets, $350, I think. And then there's pawns.
So they're little cardboard, and you put them in a stand. I got you.
Yeah. And then
so
there's like Arknight makes them too, and they're clear and transparent. So those look pretty cool. That's an option you could do too. But I don't know the variety of like different monsters and stuff. So, but for Starfinder,
300 creature pawns for $52. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you can get, you only give it 4 packs of miniatures, 16 miniatures for that price. So I mean. But
the other thing
I started
is because
buying those in 14, so that's why I just kept buying a case of each, because I started doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to keep doing it. But sorry to interrupt you there.
I have about 300 or 400 miniatures that I bought that were Dungeons and Dragons from 4th edition. And again, a lot of those are still in their little plastic things.
The bags of the cards, yeah.
Yeah, because Fantasy Grounds. When am I ever going to use these miniatures? I'm probably not, because I would love to play a real life game, but that never goes very well anymore. I told you guys the story. Yeah, I told one of you. Maybe I told both you guys. I went a 3 Tuesdays ago.
If you don't mind telling
I went to go play a game. And my friend here that lives in Spokane with me, he said, "Hey, come. I met this guy. He seems younger guy. Seems like he really have his head on his shoulders. He's going to DM. It's going to be great." And I said, "Okay, fine." So I go over there, and we get there at 4:30 in the afternoon. The game doesn't start till 5:30, but that's okay because you're BSing and hanging out, right? Whatever. And a couple other people show up.
Part of D&D, man, yeah.
Right. Then this other girl comes and he says, "Hey, there's going to be a girl dropping by, like on Meetup.com. He got a few people, and she's just coming by to observe." So one guy didn't show up. So this girl comes in and we meet her. Hey, fine. She sits down next to me. She starts playing this guy who's Absint's character. Meanwhile, this other guy and I are brand new players, and the DM is waiting to bring us in the game. 4 effing hours I waited. And he didn't bring me into the game for 4 hours, and I was like just sitting there steaming. And he kept apologizing, and he kept saying to me, "I'm sorry, it's not my fault." And I said a few times, I said, "You know what? It's actually nobody's fault but yours, because I mean, I'm sitting. Bring me into the game, change your plan. If you've got something in your head where you're waiting for the party to find me in a secret part of the dungeon." I agree. Have me come walking out with my pants down. Do something.
Eating a hot dog. Really, I mean, something.
Yeah, eating a hot dog, drinking a Diet Coke, right? But that's the kind of that's a big thing for a new DM is if you're not engaging your players, they're not going to come back. And guess what? I never went back. I mean,
I agree.
And that game went 8 hours. I played for 3 because we spent an hour BSing. And then 4 hours, and then I come in and I played for 3, but it was 8 hours. It was crazy.
I always try to have my players come in immediately, or within like the first 15 minutes, because, like you said, you're going to lose that player, man. And especially with doing patron games where they pay to play, I don't want to keep them waiting. You know what I mean? Because it's just not fair to them. Have you had anything like that happen to you, Chris?
I actually don't really like being a player. I like running stuff a little more.
Control freak. I like it.
I have been accused.
The world needs more DMs.
But that would piss me off, Rob. I would probably end up leaving.
I was steaming. I actually don't know why I didn't just get up and leave. I think it was because my friend had invited me and I didn't want to make him look bad or whatever. And then I left, kind of in a hurry when it was over. And then he called me on. He goes, "I tried to catch you," and I said, "Yeah, I was gone." And so then he already went home, and then we met back up at Denny's at like 1 a.m. and then he bought me grilled cheese and fries because he felt bad.
Nice. I would have said, "I'm going to head down to the Wiener Schnitzel and pick up a couple hot dogs. I'll be back in a little bit, guys." But I would have left, and I had something like that happen when I was a kid. We had this stoner DM, and he says, "Dude, you just play. Dude, if you want an 18-100 strength, brah, for your fighter, you just go ahead. If you want all 18s, brah, you just go ahead." And me and my friends were just looking at each other like, "Let's get out of here." And we said, "We're going to head down to Houghton now," which had like 19-cent hamburgers and cheeseburgers. This is back in like the early 90s. And we said, "Yeah, we're going to go to Houghton now." And he goes, "Dude, let me give you $5 and pick me up a bag of burgers." I said, "I'll get it, dude, because you're DM." And we never came back, man. We hauled ass, man.
Oh, that's an extra jerk move. Oh, God, I got it. And then you just don't come back.
I got it, dude. I got it.
That dude probably sat there for hours like, "Man, I am so hungry. When are they coming back? What's taking so long?"
Still be waiting right now.
He was a big stoner. His name was like Roger, and I remember his name. And he just had this look, man. That he was just so freaking. I almost effed it. But he was so freaking blazed, man. And he had the munchies, and that's why he wanted a bag of burgers. But I got one more story for you though about playing around the table. The last time I played around the table was 3 weeks ago when I went to El Paso Con. And I went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I had the time of my life. It was so fun. And I was playing in an AL game, and I had Splug. I brought Splug, man. All the AL games I've had, man, I can make a level 15 character probably. And I took Splug, and I went in there at level. It was going to be a level 3 game, so I took him in there at level 2. And there was this young kid there that was just a complete jerk off, and I hate to say it, but. This was a table of older players. They were my age, and if not older. I mean, and every time that we were doing anything, role play with an NPC or anything, this kid was like pickpocketing everybody in AL, and that's not supposed to happen. First off, but the dungeon master, she was definitely a newer dungeon master, but she did great. And she asked him please to not do that, and he says, "Oh, my character's just that way." I hate that. I almost said something else, but I hate that line from a player. That's just how my character is. Well, let's see that in background story. Why and how does that translate into you playing like this? And because you guys would probably agree, most of the players at a table, they want true neutral-ish, lawful good type of, cooperative type of play. And this kid, man, he just kept doing it. And then we fought a Cyclops towards the end. And the Cyclops we had a party of like 6, and the Cyclops was taking people down in one shot because there were some level 1s there. And as everybody was going down and doing death saving throws, this kid's going around looting everybody's body, man. I'm not joking. He didn't even swing his dagger until the very end. And I'm running around. My turn is doing spare the dying every single round, it seems like. And then there was like 3 people left. A ranger that was, of course, being a ranger and growing roots in the corner of the room 80 feet away with a longbow. And then, so the DM finally got smart and she started chasing him down. So she was giving this Cyclops like 80 feet of movement around because he was like using his cunning action to disengage and run away. And she was out to get him. And then she took him out. And then he looks over at me and he goes, dude, I need one of those. I need some bandages and something. I said, I got you next round, buddy. I got you. So
no, you don't.
So what happened was the next round I actually went and cast Spare the Dying because she wasn't going after me, and she told me this after the game is because I was the only one that had a healer, and she didn't want to take me out to where everybody was going to die. And so I went, this is making you cringe right there, probably, a Murder Hobo DM. But anyways, I went and I spared the dying, the ranger that just went down. And he goes, dude, I thought you were going to come over and get me. And I said, I got you next round, dude. So I did. He failed his first death saving throw. He failed a second one, and he rolled a 2, and he almost died outright. So on the final round, he's like, oh, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for bailing me out. Because the Cyclops hit me, and seeing that Splug is a Tempest Cleric, I refuted that damage back to the Cyclops, and I used Channel Divinity to do max damage and my Goblin bonus damage, and it killed the Cyclops. I think she cheated on the hit points because I knew that wasn't 20 damage wasn't going to kill it, but she didn't want to take everybody out. Everybody was spared the dying, but that was the first thing I got to do. Besides spare the dying was kill the Cyclops. And then he goes, oh, dude. And that was on the second round. And then on the third round, it was my turn, and he was after me. And I went over to him, and I kicked his freaking character. AC 10 roll. I said, here you go. I said, here's one for the road. And I kicked him, and it gave him this third strike because, if you take any damage, that's a strike. And he died. And it was so it worked out perfect. Rob.
Oh my God, that is the best.
And the DM, she looked over at him and she said, you need to delete. She says, delete. I'm so used to online too. She says, you need to rip up your character. Your character's dead. And that was the wrong thing to say from a DM standpoint, but I think she was just so fed up and over with that jerk that, And then he says, dude, you're such a jerk for doing that. I said, look, man, you see all these players around this table? They're older than you, and they don't want any kind of bullcrap like this going on. So why don't you go home and Google up Dungeons and Dragons player etiquette, watch that video or watch a couple of them before you go and play at another table, because people like this, they don't want to play like the way you're playing. You can do that at home if you're playing an evil party, but I said if I was a DM, I would have killed your character instantly and just sent you away packing from the table. And the other people are like, wow, yeah, that's right, and so I looted the body and I kicked him one more time for the road to give him another strike, and I gave everybody their money back, and that was it. And then I was walking around the con, and he actually found me, and he came up to me and he goes, man, I'm really sorry about that. I said, that's okay, man. I said, you're young. You're probably new to the game. He goes, no, I've been playing like 5 years. I said, well, you need to really watch some player etiquette videos, because most players don't like to play like that, especially in an AL setting. It's totally cooperative, and you're not supposed to do that anyway. So I said, so next time make something else besides a rogue or a rouge. Make something else. So
when you killed his character and he said, "Oh, you're such a jerk for doing that," you should have said, "That's just what my character does."
Yeah.
yeah. One of the ladies, she started clapping. One of the older ladies, she was probably almost 60, and she started clapping. She was so happy that because he literally looted everybody's stuff, man. I mean, what
Those
a jerk
darn
dude.
kids and their skateboards.
And they're twerking. And they're
That's
twerking.
right.
Gosh, I can't believe, guys, it's already 15 after.
I still haven't found out why anybody likes kids. I haven't figured it out.
I got my son's 20, and I love my son to death, but I don't want any more children.
Well, you kind of have. I mean, if you're a parent, what are you going to do? But I mean,
I'll let y'all on a little secret. Make sure they can't hear me. I specifically had 3 kids, so I'll always have a legal AL table for when I play AL stuff.
Nice.
yeah, but you just said that they didn't want to. They were over it.
That's why I was so mad, because it just shattered my hopes and dreams right there in an instant.
That's like my son. I wanted to coach his baseball team. I wanted to coach his, I wanted to coach his basketball team, and then he breaks the news, Dad, I don't want to play sports. That broke my heart, man. When he was like 7 or 8 years old, for playing t-ball, I helped coach his t-ball team, and he did good, but he just didn't want to. He just didn't really want to play sports. So I know the feeling, man. And now he double dipped it, and now he doesn't want to play D&D or anything anymore.
What?
I think it's just because of his dad, So
that gives me a really good idea, Chris. Next time the Jehovah's Witness comes, ding dong, I'm gonna say, "Hey, come on in, have a seat. Here's a character sheet. This is called a D20. All right, hang on to that." And then I'm just gonna start playing
There's
D&D.
3 of
I'm gonna be
you.
like,
Perfect.
"We don't care, sir. You don't need Jesus. We're gonna
first encounter demons and devils. Hell yeah.
Yeah, demons and devils.
Drop them into Death House, man, right in Curse of Strahd. That'll do well.
You guys want to take a couple questions from the chat?
Sure. Oh yeah. All this.
man.
Yeah, so why don't you guys fire up the questions in chat? Let's see what you guys got. You guys got any questions for Chris or for Rob or for me? Anybody. I mean, you can ask us what we're wearing. I mean, you can't see us from the waist down, so I mean, you got Rob over there eating hot dogs. Ask him about his Velvet Millennium Falcon that's on the
My velvet
Seattle.
My velvet TARDIS that's behind me right up there.
Yeah. God, you're good with that pointing, man. So Justin Freitas is asking, Rob, who's in the Wednesday game now?
Oh, yeah, the answer to who's in the Wednesday game now is not David Middleton and not Chris Jernigan. But we have
been in that game for at least 6 months, probably 6.
Yeah,
8 months.
we're on episode 33, and next week or this coming Wednesday is the 1-year anniversary. We started May 10th. Remember, I got sick, had to go to the hospital. Doug almost killed me. Remember?
Very first session, yeah.
Very first session. That's the only way to get inspiration is if you tell Doug you were in the hospital. He's like, all right, you can have inspiration. So in the game now is JU side. The two OGs are CJ and I, and then the other people that are in the game are Urash, JU side, and Gwydion.
Nice. Good cast.
And JU
right there.
side is running against the Giants, and the DM for the final Tomb of Horrors will be Gwydion himself.
Very nice.
Nice. I hope he goes.
And it's fun. It's good. It's on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. We still have a good time. We are knocking on the door of a level 12 right now, which is really cool because a lot of times when you play campaigns, you don't ever get above level 8 or 9 or 10, and so it's really, when you get into the double digits, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because it's a rare thing, right?
Yeah, most games only go up a couple of levels. I always stress that, but it's good to start with higher level. If you've got some experienced players and start at level 10, like I'm going to do with Tomb of Horrors, that would be pretty good.
That's fun too. But it's pretty satisfying to build a guy all the way from the beginning and end up being high teens, or even if you can make it to 20. I've never in my life made a character from 0 to the highest you can go. I've never had that happen.
I have a legit level 31 cleric, a basic D&D cleric. My first. You're right there.
Coke out the nose. That burns so bad.
Almost had to buy a new laptop. It's because you said legit is what made me laugh.
I do. I have a legitimate level 31 character. I really do.
Like, what does that mean? That you didn't cheat on your way up? Is that
I'm
what you're
proud of
saying?
it. We played the same game for when I started playing in 1984 all the way till when EverQuest came out in like 1998, 1999. We played the same game. We played every single week. And, you know, we played basic D&D, and then we started getting the hardbacks for first edition. So, you know, my friend Gary, asshole Gary, had a half-orc assassin, and he was the same thing as this kid that I, you know, just took care of a couple weekends ago, and we killed Gary's character too. Yeah, we did. Blade Barrier, man. Blade Barrier will kill someone really quick and with whole person. So yeah. But we had the same game going on, man. So it is a true, legitimate level 30, and I'm proud of that character. I got like 5 pages of gems because I got like a 15 gold piece of malachite and a 15 gold ruby and a 20 gold, a 17 gold emerald, and that's why I do universal gems as a currency now because of that character sheet. So, you know, if the party gets 50 gold worth of gems, I just have it as a currency and divide it in Fantasy Grounds, and they all get like 15 gold worth of gems. And it's whatever gem that they want. So, yeah.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Something that Boffrin was talking about, a bag of dicks.
I was going to say that.
Just to clue that in. So it came up as a discussion in one of our Shadow of the Demon Lord games. They rolled on the interesting things table, and it was a bag of fleshy rods. It was a bag of fleshy rods. So I messaged Robert Schwab, and I said, "Hey, that bag of stuff, is it dicks, dildos, or rods covered in flesh? What's going on, man?" And he was like, "Well, you know, they can be whatever you want them to be, but I always imagined it was a bag of dicks."
And if you've never checked out Shadow of the Demon Lord, that is an amazing game. So
yeah, that's Schwab's game. It's awesome.
And he's a machine putting out content. I mean, he puts out like 5 PDFs
almost once
a day.
A week, man.
Yeah, sometimes it's even more than that. That's why I stopped buying stuff. I'm like, man, he's like killing me with all these $2, $5, and $7 transactions. So that's why I quit buying that stuff. But it's a good game though, and I got all that stuff too. That's probably another lot that I'll probably end up ditching. Even though I do I like that advantage and disadvantage better than 5e. I like just the extra d6, but sorry.
He's developing a new game that's coming out, post-apocalyptic, I think it's called. It's based off of it's the Shadow of the Demon Lord that takes place like on Earth or something like that, where they're scavenging and stuff like that. I can't remember what it's called.
That sounds
but
sounds promising.
Developing something that's similar to that, that's kind of standalone. He's got a podcast up of it on his show that he does. Rob's Basement is the podcast, and he does a couple of episodes where he play tested at a con. It sounds really, really fun.
Is it going to be using the same mechanics as
what I gathered, for the most part, it does, yeah.
He'd be smart to do that if it was him.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's good. That's something I'll probably check out because I do want some post-apocalyptic stuff, and there's a lot out there for like Savage Worlds and stuff. But, you know, once something's put out for Savage Worlds, as you guys know, the majority of the time, unless it's like Hellfrost or Deadlands, that's it. Well, once they put out the core stuff, that's it, and there's nothing else comes out for it. So, but if it's him, I know he'll be putting stuff out, so that would be cool. So, yeah. So let's see. Is there any more questions? Man, everybody's calling for the bag of dicks now from Shadow of the Demon Lords.
Everybody wants a bag of dicks.
So last call, guys. Last call for any questions that you guys have. It says, let's. It was about the bag of dicks. So I think
dicks and hot dogs apparently is what everybody wants to talk about.
Hot dogs marinated in their own brine, aka Vienna sausages, maybe. You guys we're all about the same age. You guys remember Frankenstuff hot dogs with the chili cheese hot dog, the chili hot dogs? Oh man,
they were called Frankenstuff. Was that from a restaurant, or you could buy them in the store?
At the store, yeah. I remember the
That
first
was
time.
from that creepy guy Frank in his van out there.
That must be an East Coast thing. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, it was. I think they were called. Yeah, they were called Frankenstuff hot dogs. And I remember it was like a McDonald's apple pie from the '80s. It was so cold on the outside, but when you bit into it, it was like freaking lava. And man, my whole mouth got burnt from the chili squirting out all over my face.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, my dad just laughed. I was like, "Yeah, thanks, Dad."
Thanks.
Let's see. Justin says, "You guys ever check out Runehammer on YouTube?" I've never heard of Runehammer. I'm sorry. Cool dude with a lot of good content and DM ideas and concepts. Check it out. Worth a look. I have to
check that out.
I don't get a whole lot of time to check out a bunch of other channels, but when I do, I usually check out like Cody or usually go to WebDM or something like that. Those are or Nerdarchy. Those are about the only three that I really pay any attention to. So.
Oh, Dave, this just popped into my brain. Let me mute my mic real quick. Oh, never mind. I'll just do some clicks here. Do you remember the board game Fireball Island?
I don't remember Fireball Island. No.
Are you
never
serious?
Even heard of it. No, seriously.
Fuck, man.
The only
let me throw this in your chat.
NSA 1 hour 25 minutes. Chris drops the F-bomb.
Code it.
Oh crap!
NSA. NSA. Oh my gosh! I see lights pulling up in the window right now. I am totally.
You'll have to add that link in there for me.
I will.
So it's Fireball.
Oh, it's it's a thing. It's happening now. It's 92 minutes left.
Yeah. It's I had this game growing up, and the re-release.
$2.7 million. What in the?
Yeah.
We're in the wrong business, guys.
I'm super
FOMO,
excited
man.
to see that.
You guys know FOMO, right? FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out.
I do not.
That's a reason people buy stuff is fear of missing out. This is like almost got me to click on this because it looks awesome and I don't even know what it is.
Does it shoot
how much
real
is the
fire?
I think it has a volcano in it.
It does have a volcano in the center, yeah.
With like
Oh my god, I was
stuff
totally
or what? Like the old science project. Everybody in class during the science fair would do the exploding volcano with the water.
Yeah, there'd be like 30
powder.
Volcanoes all over the gym and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a $20 thing if you're a brick and mortar game store.
You can pledge $1 and it gets you the pledge manager because I'm waiting on some money from people that haven't paid me yet, and I'm gonna get the go all in and get like all the expansions and crap like that.
$130.
Yeah, and
that's like almost that's a quarter case of miniatures. I'd rather have miniatures than or I could get 3 D&D board games for that price. 3 of those big box board games like Ashes and Ravenloft and or I could buy
video looks cool.
100 packs of zombie dice and give them away to everybody.
Now, can you play all the D&D board games like solo, or was the Drizzt the only one?
Yeah. No, supposedly.
Yeah, you can play all of them solo. Yeah.
They have each one has an adventure, like a full book adventure. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Rob. You know more about it than me. So.
I'm looking at these videos of this Fireball Island, and they're rolling the marbles down the thing, and oh god, it looks kind of fun. But I have a problem. I have a huge Kickstarter problem, so I'm just going to close this page and not even because my thing is that. I buy these games, and unless they have a solo component, unless I can do it by myself, because people don't like me. Nobody wants to come and play a game at my house. There's nobody.
I would.
You would,
probably
cool.
about 12 hours away or so. I mean,
we can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Yeah.
But I don't, and plus I live in a small, like 900 square foot home, and like I'd have to clear off a card table, and I could maybe have. I mean, it would be really pushing it to have 3 people here. And it could never do more than 3 people, so
yeah, that's what I have.
It's not a good place.
Now.
Yeah,
I'd have to. Yeah, I got a table behind me. This big room here is my living room, my dining area, and my gaming room. The room behind me, that's my kitchen. See, I was moving my fingers. So yeah, that's my kitchen, my bathroom. My bathroom is like the size of a bathroom on like a Navy ship or something.
Yeah, same with me.
And being a dude is like totally bad. And then my bedroom's right this way.
That's where the magic happens.
That's where the
my
sex
bedroom
swing
is painted pink.
Nobody heard it. oh, did I say sex swing on? Yeah, but anyways, no, I'm just kidding.
If you come to my bedroom and we go in there, it's painted pink, like the inside of a vagina. So it's like a threesome.
Nice.
I've got this all worked out. By the way, this line has never worked. My sister thought it was funny, but then we were like, oh, that's creepy. Don't laugh at that.
Pickup lines. Do you think this would work? Hey, baby, do you want to come to my place and check out my sex swing? Do you think that would work? I think
sex swing?
Yeah, I think it would. My sex harness that I have mounted on the ceiling. I mean, would you?
No. Don't call it a swing. Call it a harness. That is what you need to do.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that would be a pretty good pickup line. But I don't know. No, actually, I think about it. I don't think it would be a good pickup line.
If they say yes, you better prepare to defend yourself.
My question is do you have a long enough USB cable to give us a tour of said bedroom where the magic happens?
Are you asking Dave or me?
I'll have to.
There's no magic. There's no magic in my bedroom.
No, there's no magic in my bedroom.
When I go in my bedroom, I feel dead. There's nothing happening in there.
I just turn on Spotify and then I go in and sleep and die. So,
yeah.
Good pickup line. I mean, Chris, what do you got for a pickup line? Hopefully your wife doesn't hear you and then divorce you and then you're stuck paying child support for 3 kids and then I feel bad. Then you're going to be living in my bed. You're going to be living in my game room / living room / dining room / second bedroom. So
good pickup lines. If you keep looking at me, I think I'm going to have to fuck you.
Oh my gosh! Wow. NSA 1 hour and 30 minutes and 44 seconds. Mark that as an edit.
Your address, Chris? I need to know right now. That is a great line.
Rob, I know you'll have one.
You know, I've. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
What you do, like, hey. Excuse me, ma'am. Yeah, well, maybe you don't say ma'am. Maybe that's not a good way to start. I call ma'am. I call like 18-year-old ma'am, and then when they say ma'am, I'm not old, and I say no, it's a sign of respect, and then I get angry at them. No, that's not good. So here's what you do. Excuse me, miss. Do you know who Elon Musk is? And if they say no, you go, hi, my name's Elon Musk. And then just you can Google me. Well, you don't look like that. Well, makeup. I don't know. If I knew a good pickup line, I would not be talking to the two of you gentlemen right now. Because I'd be somebody.
Let's see, a Tannis Barbarian. I love Tannis Barbarian. That's such a great name. Did you guys have any
followers? Is that the Matt Covell thing?
It is, yeah. Did you guys back Strongholds?
I did, yes.
I did not back it, but I did ask to be the person to convert it for Fantasy Grounds, which I have not yet been granted the opportunity to do. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'm going to be bad here. I did not back it because I just don't do a lot of mass combat stuff. So there's just really, I have a Kickstarter problem like Rob, so I decided to not do that. Mm-hmm. But it's not like it's not going to be good. I mean, it's going to be good.
It didn't hurt him. I think he made $2.1 million or whatever it was.
He did great with that. And congratulations to him doing that Kickstarter.
And by the way, I've never seen a tweet out of Colville that didn't have a curse word in it, which I kind of appreciate. I love it. But all of his tweets are just laced with profanity.
NSA. Do I feel like
NSA.
going on?
I didn't. No. I wasn't going to do it. Fuck no.
Oh, no.
NSA 1 hour 32 minutes 51 seconds. I need to make that edit. Mark that. Click.
I like that the NSA is monitoring us, and then we're in huge trouble.
They are because we're talking about bags of dicks. And tapping their feet, because that's what the government officials do when they get caught. They're tapping their feet under the stalls and stuff. So I am totally going to hell for that, anyways. So I think on that note, guys, I think I've held you guys up enough, and guys, I really appreciate.
This was a blast. I would do this for 4 hours.
Yeah, this is really fun.
As soon as we're done, I'm gonna do so many exciting things. Like watch television. So I could go all night.
Well, I think we should do this again pretty soon. Maybe we'll do this.
Yeah,
again,
we should.
Another, in another month or so, and maybe we'll have something a little bit more formal, maybe a little bit more structured. No, I think we'll just get it turned on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send you a script, David, and if you don't follow it, I'm gonna. Yeah.
You're gonna send me a script from the Fantasy Grounds College. I like it.
Fantasy Grounds College.
I'll tell you what, they do a lot for the community, teaching a lot of new users and stuff, and that's definitely a good thing. So
they have over 2,000 people there now.
Oh wow!
Better than me. I'm glad I got like 100 or so, a little over 100 in my Discord. So I think 2,000 is just a little too much. But I mean, hey, just need.
Well, he's got a couple people that sort of monitor it. But yeah, it's a great place. People go there and learn. Many converts from Roll20 coming over to.
That's
just
good to hear.
just think when Unity comes out, how that is just going to change. Everything
It's
virtual tabletop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's and no, I do not know when the release date is, guys. So
none of us know. Even the two of us that work for the company, we still don't know.
Yeah. So
actually, let me tell you something.
Chris knows.
According to a Chris Perkins podcast that I heard.
You live closest to Doug's house now, Chris. You should go knock on his door and ask him.
That's right.
I was literally 15 minutes away when he moved to Florida.
Yeah.
We went out and saw a couple movies and stuff and had a good time, and it was nice because it was actually nice that I could go out and hang out with somebody, because all my friends are miserable. They're married, they have kids, they're did I mention they're miserable?
They're all miserable because they're married.
They tell, I'm not joking, all my friends tell me, dude, you are the smartest one of all of us because you stayed single forever. So
yeah, my friends tell me that. My married friends say that about their side. You don't, because I complain about being lonely, but they're like, no, you have no idea. I would trade loneliness for aggravation on a 24/7 basis. And
there's pros and cons. I don't. I wouldn't mind. I don't ever want to live with anybody per se again. I don't want to have. I don't want them to want anything from me. I don't want anything from anyone. I just want to go out, have someone that I can go to lunch with, have a conversation with, maybe go on like a trip or something. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for marriage and more kids. I mean, I'll be in my 60s if I have another kid before I can kick him out like I just kicked my son out in January. So, but that's all I'm looking for, just like companionship, That's all.
I'm in the same boat as you, Dave. And the only thing I like better than kids is doing anything I want whenever I want.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
If I want to go to con, if I wanted to go to El Paso Con, I would have had to take kids, and expenditures would have just been taught. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. Do you think I'd be able to do what I'm doing in a relationship? Get the hell out of here, man. There's no way.
You get the hell out of here. So I forgot to mention this. You talked about going to El Paso Con. I just sent an email to SpoCon today. That's in August here in Spokane.
Oh.
And I just sent him an email saying, I just took a shot in the dark. I said, hey, I'm an employee at SmiteWorks, the makers of Fantasy Grounds, and if you guys wanted me to come in and do like a seminar for Fantasy Grounds, just let me know. I'd be happy to do it. And they emailed me back so excited. They were like, oh my God, we're gonna get the coordinator and have her contact you. And so I think I might get to go spread the news to, a couple hundred more people.
Nice.
Should be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe I'll have to take a road trip out that way, Rob.
Oh my God!
And we'll have to we'll buy some hot dogs, have a cooler of hot dogs on us, and we'll just throw hot dogs out into the crowd, and we'll see if anybody
David,
gets it.
I have a microwave and a barbecue, so your choice, my friend.
No, I was talking about to the audience. Just throw raw hot dogs out.
Oh! You're not gonna eat a hot dog. You're gonna throw.
No, I haven't had a hot dog in years, man. Just because I had a hot dog one time doesn't make me we have this place in El Paso called Wiener Schnitzel, and I never heard of it before, but it's like a total. I drove by and looked at their drive-through, and it looks like they have nothing but like hot dogs. But I never heard
Yeah.
of a Wiener Schnitzel before. I guess they're some German company. So, man.
Yeah, Wiener Schnitzel and Whataburger are the same company.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
because
Whataburger.
oh man, let me tell you what, they must put crack cocaine in those burgers because those things are good. They're so much better than McDonald's and Burger King and stuff. Although I will say Burger King does have a pretty good burger, but Whataburger, I've had Whataburger like 3 times since I've been here, and they're so good, man. They're
double
expensive.
meat, double cheese, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You got to pay for cheese, though, Chris. What's up with that, man? That's
I don't. I usually get it without cheese, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like $1 for cheese.
Get you a double meat, double cheese, large onion rings, and try to drink you a large malt, and just try not to barf.
Their French fries suck. But their onion rings are unbelievable. They're really good onion rings. So how did we go from saying goodbye to everybody to start getting into a whole nother conversation about...
Because hot dogs.
I think it is.
You know what? I'm sad to say I've had both Whataburger and Wiener Schnitzel in my life and living in different places, but here in Spokane, neither one. Don't have either one.
It's Texas only, isn't it?
Well, no, I had a Wiener Schnitzel and Whataburger in L.A. I can remember doing that a few times.
Dude, there are so many Whataburgers here. I'm not joking. I was on I-10, and you know how in Texas all of the roads have U-turns. You know what I mean? They have inner U-turns that you can go on. Well, they do here in El Paso.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely love, and they're not associated with the stoplights or anything like that. On I-10, there is a Whataburger on one side of I-10, a Whataburger on the other side, and then right down the road, maybe a quarter mile, you see another Whataburger sign. I'm like, God, there's just so many Whataburgers everywhere here in Texas. It's just crazy, but I do like it. They got some pretty good stuff. But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Chris, thanks so much for hanging out.
Yeah, you bet, man.
Yep, bring your bag of dicks next time. Rob?
I will definitely bring the bag of dicks.
Thanks for having that Velvet Millennium Falcon up above your head behind you. I totally appreciate
right
it.
there. Don't forget, everybody, buy Monsters of the Guild because it's awesome.
Yes, on the DMs Guild.
Yeah, so why don't you guys tell us really quick where they can find you guys, and then we are going to head out.
All right. Go for it, Chris.
You can find me at twitch.tv/FSHSchmo. Same thing on Facebook and the Twitter that I don't use. And yeah.
That shit-eating grin Rob's got, dude.
Because he doesn't use Twitter.
And Rob Rob has his last name is 2E for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. In case y'all didn't know that.
Yeah, nobody knew that. I didn't even know that. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done. You're good.
And everybody can find me all points Rob2e wherever you look for me. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Patreon. What else, Dave? Everything.
Do you have an Instagram yet?
Are you done?
I have an Instagram. it exists, but I don't think. I mean, I don't know. But I'll get a hot dog on there for you, Chris, as soon as I can.
What about a Musical.ly? We should all get Musical.ly. I don't know if y'all know what that is.
I don't. I can't wait till you tell me.
Apparently, it's something to where the kids like lip sync to little 15-second music clips and like do all kind of crazy stuff with their phone. It's pretty funny.
Well, if you do one, I'll do one. No, don't do one because I don't want to do that. I will do one.
And if you guys do one, I will watch it.
Well, thanks, guys, for hanging out. We'll do this again. Maybe we'll just do this every month or every other month or something like that. I think it was pretty fun tonight.
Whatever you want, my friend.
And look at that awesome hot overlay. I mean, this is like huge production value. This is like CBS quality right here.
Digital Dungeon Master, dear, and then there's me and there's you, there's Chris right there, like that.
That's so awesome.
I'm looking at my TV up there. That's why.
Oh man.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yep, it was loads of fun.
Yep, we'll see you next time. I'm going to be doing next time. In fact, in just a mere 5 days' time, which will be next Tuesday, May 8th at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern, I will have on my special guest, Devin Knight, next Tuesday.
Oh, snap.
So he'll be on next week. We're going to talk all about tokens and art and all that good stuff. Try to get some information on what kind of token packs he's got coming out in the future. So Devin Knight will be on next Tuesday. It's going to be an early bird special, so we'll be on 11 Mountain Time or 1 o'clock Eastern. So thanks, guys. I totally appreciate it. I've got a bunch of other people lined up as well, so I'm going to start doing a couple of these vodcasts every month instead of just doing them once. So, all right, and I got a couple pretty big YouTube channels that are going to be joining me too pretty soon. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching, and until next time, happy gaming, and get yourself a bag of dicks, and also eat yourself a hot dog with no bun. See you guys next time. Bye. I'm totally going to hell for that, guys.